1:12.6 out of Chase Elliott. Going to be tested right away by his Hendrick teammate Larson, which looks slower. Blaney dramatically slower.
And when you see the times populate on the graphics where they're coming down that stretch towards turn 6, remember it's the alternate finish line, so that if you do want to finish your lap, you can, or you can continue.
Chastain currently P1, over 3/10 faster than Chase Elliott.
Good work, Michael McDowell. He jumps to P3. So it's a 1:12.3 from Ross Chastain. Then Noah Gragson, good lap. Michael McDowell, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, who just had that anxious moment but was able to get away with it. Keep your eye on that bottom graphic. Logano in the green at the moment. And the comparison to Kyle Larson in 5th. This is the guy who sits in the most elevated position in the playoffs. So there's not as much pressure on him as there is the other 15 drivers. Now Reddick in the green as well. Challenges are coming for that top 5 spot. Hamlin looking good as well. This is the stretch exiting the carousel to the alternate lap finish line, as opposed to the traditional start finish. Here it comes now. You'll see Joey's lap populate. How good is it? To Jeff's point, really good. He jumps to 2nd provisionally.
Puts Elliott right now in 5th. Solid 4 or 5 cars left to run.
Reddick was not able to bump into the top 5.
Which is shocking. I had him as one of the best cars in race trim, but obviously it's not quite translating over to qualifying.
Denny Hamlin goes 7th. So Reddick 6th, Hamlin 7th. Larson's been pushed back as Michael McDowell leapfrogs his way in there. Chastain, Logano, Gragson, McDowell, Elliott. That's the 5 at the moment. Oh, he was using it all there, and he's a 1/10.5 to the good. Up through the S's. Now 2/10. Shane Van Gisbergen getting faster and faster on this lap.
This is the payoff spot right here, though, the bus stop.
I think these high-speed sections are where he excels. You can see it went in there a little bit behind, came out further ahead.
This surely will eliminate Chase Elliott from the top 5, as the alternate start finish is right there.
Could jump up to 2nd, actually make it 1 better. Shane Van Gisbergen goes to the top.
No one in the green, though, right now.
Nobody. McDowell just up against himself is the closest.
Blaney's going to start back in 27th.
Here's Juan Pablo Montoya for 23.11. After the initial run, he was kind of down in the teens. And now we see a little splash of green on the screen. 2 minutes left. If you're going to do it, you got to do it now. Here's Buescher.
And the track is full. I count 12 or 13 cars on the racetrack. You see them every straightaway we see has at least 2 or 3 cars on it. Even McDowell, to answer your question, if you think it's a glitch, it's not. At the bottom right, that's McDowell compared to McDowell, because he thinks he might have to improve his own time.
He's going to try and protect. Ryan Blaney's out there in the Menards Ford.
Oh, Larson, though, is still on it. Green into the bus stop. Bottom right, can he get a clean bus stop? Comes out of the bus stop, trending green.
This is looking good for Kyle Larson.
What a set of corners through the inner loop. Don't get up into the loose stuff.
Missed that corner.
He did.
He missed the carousel. Carried too much speed on entry. Never got to the bottom.
That's the corner I thought he would have handled, and he came out of the bus stop with such pace. He missed the carousel, almost like he got all the way into the high stuff, into the loose stuff.
So that's it for Group A. Now we go to Group B. The first 5 have been confirmed. And on a road course, no great surprise to see the name Shane Van Gisbergen at the top. Ross Chastain and the Trackhouse team have had a really promising start to this day. And then Logano, Gragson, and McDowell.
Yeah, Briscoe lap, they say, is good. He took the green when the clock had yet to, wow, jumps up to 6th. A big improvement for a playoff driver.
This is Austin Cindric exiting turn 1. He was the quick man from Group B throughout the 40 minutes of practice that he had. So let's see if that continues here in qualifying. That was a big moment.
Yeah, I think that's going to hurt his pace. You need to be wide open in the gas up through that part of the racetrack. Yeah, I just feel like, Steve, that's a bad part of the racetrack, climbing those S's, and now offline here.
Rear grip being tested and just not holding up for the driver of the 2, Austin Cindric. 1:12.04. He said, well, it may not look good, but it's the fastest lap of the day. Sometimes chaos works, and it works for Cindric. Shut it down, cool it down, get ready for the next round.
That was some beautiful driving from Austin Cindric.
Yeah, that reminded me of Bubba Wallace's lap at Darlington, where he was out of control, hitting all the walls, doing all that stuff, and made it happen.
Truex Jr. said, let me show you something. 1:11.81.
10th of a second off 5th place at the moment.
And I think Dinger's always been one of the best in the bus stops. You see it, big gain under braking. Can he carry speed through the middle? Can't really. Truex must have flew through the bus stop.
Here he's messing with the throttle, trying to go full throttle. Good exit pace.
It's green. Here comes the Dinger, and he may leapfrog his way into the top 5, and does. And we've only got 2 minutes, 10 seconds left. If you want to be in the top 5 to go through to the next round, here comes Kyle Busch.
And at speed, Christopher Bell trending really close to 0 as he starts to climb the S's.
Alex Bowman well positioned in second behind Martin Truex Jr., Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez, and AJ Allmendinger are the 5 for now, with 90 seconds left on the clock. Bell lost a little time there.
He really did. AJ is known for that bus stop, such a good road racer. I had Bell circled as one of my favorites. So fast at COTA earlier this year, another high-speed racetrack. Bell unable to improve his lap from earlier.
Kyle Busch was just beginning his lap. Here comes Harrison Burton.
Harrison, no improvement, so he'll start way in the back.
Way worse, actually.
Eric Jones comes across the line. Keep your eye on Busch. Bottom right of the screen. Somebody's gone way on. They're heading down towards the boot.
I think that's William Byron. No, it's the 77. Carson Hocevar, who's off track, out of everybody's way. There's the 77 machine. He's kind of, the boot. He's running the long track.
Get your marks. Focus on this exit. Use all the curb.
Nice.
Now immediately right sides on this curb. Now difference about accelerating as soon as you can, leaving because, again, a long straight heading to the start-finish line.
This has been a smooth lap from Daniel Suarez. Now, remember, the best time we've seen so far today, Martin Truex Jr. at a 1:11.8. That first time by was 1:12.7. Here comes his teammate, Ross Chastain. What do we see from Ross early on? He leapfrogs him by some 0.6 of a second. He is the sole representative for Hendrick Motorsports in this top 10 qualifying. Had a really solid performance last weekend to start the playoffs in Atlanta, which is what he needed to steady the ship. The winner from the Chicago street race, he's about a 1/4 of a second off at the moment. Comes across that alternate finish line, but does do enough to leapfrog his way into second at the moment. Van Gisbergen's lap has begun.
So let's watch how he attacks it. A little bit off of Chastain. Gaining it back. Use all the racetrack right here. And now let's watch what he does in turn 1, because this is where he gained a lot of speed earlier. Tons of speed on entry. As soon as he gets to the bottom, wide open throttle. Now he just lets the car fly out. And look at the speed he gained. Now he leads there with the advantage.
Van Gisbergen's lost time as he enters the bus stop. Whoa, that was a big hit.
That was a big hit.
This car is the closest at less than a 1/10, just on a 1/10 of a second now. Just goes to show you what a great lap that was by Ross Chastain early in this top 10 portion of qualifying. Truex is getting a little bit of time back, but is it enough? As he comes to the line, should go to second, does go to second. So how hard can Michael McDowell lean on that? He told Kim before he feels like he's got a really fast Ford Mustang for tomorrow's race. He actually smiled, and that back end steps out.
Yeah, he had a really good turn 1, but made the right heading into the S's and just did not have the rear grip he was anticipating. He knows that lap's not going to be able to do what he needs to do, so kind of backing it down, make sure he doesn't overstep his bounds, get himself in trouble. Still a solid starting spot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, starting in the top 10, and that's at that moment that Ross Chastain realizes he will start on the pole position at the Glen. Kim?
Yeah, and he's going to congratulate his team. Man, big smile on your face. His teammate Daniel Suarez coming in for the fist pump and the hug. Man, so many new things here this weekend at this track. And in addition to that, the top 10 drivers in this round, there are a number of road course masters. What kind of bragging rights are attached to this pole ring right now? What is the emotion you're feeling?
So much work, Kim. Just turning right seems so simple, but gosh, it's just been such a challenge for me. I went to Skip Barber driving school to learn how to turn right. I've leaned on Josh Wise and Scott Speed so much. The instructors at Skip Barber, Chevrolet has taken us out to Spring Mountain and done schooling with Ron Fellows and instructors there. And it wasn't any one thing. It was so many years of trying to learn how to do this. And for our Busch Light Chevy, this is just a career moment, a lifetime achievement to go faster than everybody in the Cup Series. It's unbelievable for Trackhouse and myself.
Sounds like Ross Chastain's at a loss for words. Second career pole, gets it done here at Watkins Glen, will lead the field to green tomorrow.
Such a cool place to get that pole position for Ross Chastain, and all of that hard work to have the skill to do it. He'll start on the front row alongside Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, you see the playoff drivers scattered through this field. Briscoe, Chase Elliott, Reddick, Christopher Bell back in row 9. Denny Hamlin after Atlanta, work to do, row 11.
And Kyle Larson back there. And then look at the playoffs. Playoff drivers continue. Keselowski, Blaney, Burton back there.
Yeah, Juan Pablo Montoya, that's right, he's back. Good pace in practice. He's going to race well tomorrow.